Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the AJW UG3X-C52 1.5 diameter, 52-inch, 2-wall, straight grab bar and post with peened grip and a concealed snap flange construction type. So that's a lot to bite off, and we're going to dissect all of it, but this is what the bar looks like. It's a straight bar. It's 2-wall because you've got a return here, and then you've got the straight end here. So you're going to obviously get this down onto 2 walls. Okay, you're going to butt this hard up to one wall, and then this will be the other wall that'll come up in front of you. Now, this has all of the features mentioned previously, especially the peened grip, which is not common. Peened grips are less common. Probably 1% of the time will we sell a peened grip. There is no question that, and here is, because it's so long I don't want to hit anything, you can see exactly how the texture changes. There's no question that the peened grip increases friction. It makes it more difficult to slip, is the bottom line. Seniors or people who use grab bars, handicap people, will say they like the 1.5 diameter because it hurts less when they're pushing up on it because it's a greater surface area. The peened grip is also given testament to the fact that it will help reduce the potential for slippage of the hand, because generally you might be dealing with a scenario where the hand might be dirty, oily, not washed yet scenario, and that peened grip really will give a better chance in terms of helping eliminate the potential for some sort of injury or damage. So peened grip, in my opinion, should always be used. It just isn't. That's the bottom line. It's probably a cost scenario. Now, there is information below this video. 2-wall straight grab bar and post, and that post is a reference to the middle post. 1.5 diameter, 52-inch length, satin stainless steel, concealed snap flange with a peened grip. Now, the 18-gauge stainless steel with that number 4 brushed finish, available in different diameters. The flanges are 3-inch diameter, 11-gauge stainless steel. We're talking about this portion here. And the flange cover will have a finish to match the tubing. And that is your heliarc welded flange to the bar. You can see all of the evidence of the welding on the back side. When properly installed, these bars will have a load rating of in excess of 900 pounds. When you're dealing with generally a straight sort of bar, angled bars will have a 250-pound rated weight limit. The installation information down below here basically says install the material in compliance with local code and, of course, ADA code, which would tell you that the recommended mounting height is from 33 to 36 inch, center line above the finished floor. Okay, now let's get into dissecting this part number, because this part will tell you the way by which you can go about configuring any bar from AJW. There is a link below this video to the product brochure. If you would please open that up and let it load. Okay, there is also a link to a document called Grab Bar Configurations, which actually is not necessary. You can look at it, but it's in the product brochure as well. There's a link to the tech sheet, which we have all but covered previously. And then there's a link to the measurement guide, which is important to know because it will tell you how the size is determined. Let's start with the link to the product brochure first. Now, page 1 on the left-hand side. The fun thing about that is you're going to have 3 options in terms of flange style. So determine that first. Don't determine the series because you have no idea what that means, let's assume. Concealed snap, concealed set screw, and then exposed. For sure the most common is the concealed snap, which is this type. The concealed set screw will give you a wall plate that you will mount to the wall, and then you will have a flange that will look just like this, although it's thicker, and have 3 points in it that are drilled and tapped for set screws. So the wall plates get mounted, then you put the bar right over that and anchor it with the 3 set screws on each mounting post. Finally, exposed is the other flange type, so lack of flange. It would just be literally exposed. It'd be a bit more finished than this, but not significantly more. For sure, the concealed snap flange, this model, is the most common, and therefore, in our part number, it's a UG3, because it's concealed snap flange, and it's 1.5" diameter. So the bar is literally 1.5" diameter. So right there, we already know what we're dealing with. We've got an 1.5" concealed snap flange. You want to change the flange type, you want to change the diameter, pick up the number as it applies, or the UG number as it applies to your scenario. Moving on to the part number, we have an X. When you look down below, that's going to mean safety gripped peened. X is going to give you that peened surface. Okay. Now, you've got a dash. Then the next value is a letter, and that's going to give you the grab bar configuration. That's on page 2. When you change that letter, you change the shape of the bar. A C, 2-wall, straight bar. There you go. Obviously, the most common is the A type. The B type, when you get out into longer bars, where you're going to have a mid post. Also very common is going to be the R type and the S type that are on there. The wall to floor, with and without the outrigger. Okay. Everything else, of course, is common, but in terms of my experience, what I sell most of, it'll be the A's, then it'll be the R's, then it'll be the S's, and then everything else, pretty much. Okay. Now, you've got the grab bar configuration C, and then the last thing, of course, is the length, the L1 dimension, which would be from the measurement guide, is going to tell you, I'm going to put a tape measure on it so I don't put my foot in my mouth. Indeed, the L2 dimension is going to be the perpendicular wall to the center line of the post that mounts back to the straight to the wall that you're parallel with. Center line of here to the outside of here. So that if this flange is 3 inch, you know that your outside dimension is going to be 53.5. Okay? 52 plus half of 3 inch. And that is how you understand how these bars work. The dimension is always necessary, but not always something that you can tailor. You might want a UG3X C56. Probably not going to be able to provide that as a stock item, certainly not stock, meaning that 52-inch might be tied to the C type. There can be a limit in terms of the sizes available, meaning an A-type bar, the straight bar, the max is going to become 48-inch. If you say I need a 72, it'll become a B-type bar because you'll have that mid-post. So you can't have an A-type bar where it's 72 is what I'm trying to say. So while the explanation of the grab bar nomenclature and how it's erected is long-winded, guilty, however, it does give you confidence to say, okay, I know exactly how to detail my part numbers moving forward. That's helpful if you're an architect, a building engineer, a general contractor, or just someone who needs a couple of grab bars because their father is now somewhat disabled and needs help in their home and not ready for a nursing home scenario. So that's helpful. And by all means, if you have any questions on this material, feel free to reach out to us. Give you an idea of how heavy it is. It weighs 3.75 pounds, so 3 3/4 pounds. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the AJW products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the AJW UG3X C52 2-wall straight grab bar or any other AJW product, a company that I'm quite partial to because of excellent, outstanding, exceptional customer service and technical support, please feel free to reach out to us.